Hello everyone, hope you're alright. In today's video, I'm going to show you how my garden is doing in the month of September. We are in the middle of September already and we have had a week of heat wave. It has been really hot. Most of the summer has been really cold and wet, but towards the end we got a heat wave. So you can see the plants, they are showing the signs of heat stress. So after a really long spell of cold and wet summer, they were struck by blazing hot temperatures and obviously they don't like it. So I'm trying to keep them cool by watering them, but still they are not looking good. Some of the plants are good. So chili plants really like the heat wave, so they had lots of flowers, and during the heat wave they got like lots of chilies going on. Impatiens like the cooler temperature, so you can see they are withered now. Petunias are liking it, and lobelias are okay. So most of the plants are going towards seed anyway, so they have been doing good all summer. So towards the end of season, it's okay for them not to look really beautiful, but still they have been really productive. Here in this patch, I have got few plants which I started from bare roots. Rudbeckia is really doing well. I started it from a little plug plant and it has been blooming like this for a month now. So I'm really liking the Rudbeckia, and some of the plants were done earlier but they are sending a second flush of blooms now, like leucanthemum and salvia, and this sedum is doing really great here. This is drought tolerant anyway, so it doesn't mind the hot temperatures and it has started to bloom now. It is still a really small plant, but bees love it. And these conifers, I pruned them earlier and they are sending new growth as well. These heathers, I planted them earlier during this summer. I got them as plug plants on discounted price, and I'm really happy that I got them because I had six of them and I planted them here and there in the garden and they are started to bloom now, looking really beautiful. My rose tree is looking good and cherry tree doing okay. This bay laurel was already here, really established, and I did a hard prune on it during early summer and now it's turning new growth. So overall, I'm liking this patch and the containers. Of course, the plants in the containers suffer more during the heat wave because there is not a good reservoir of water, so you have to keep on top of watering them, otherwise they do good. This container especially has been doing really good all summer. You can see it's a big container and I planted a whole lot of things in it: coleus, hebe, impatiens, petunias, lobelias, geraniums, whatever I had, I planted that here, and it is like a small garden and it is doing really well. This Echinacea is doing good. It is starting to send two more flowers now. Cosmos is kind of done now, not looking good. Lobelia underneath is like, taken over. And this container is doing okay as well. Impatiens and lobelias are not doing good, but the evergreen euonymus is doing okay. The rose plant is climbing rose, and I want to train it up this trellis here. The hanging baskets have been suffered a little bit by the heat wave due to the lack of water. Lobelias are done anyway. So overall, I'm happy with how the things are doing, especially the perennial ones, and the evergreen ones are doing really well. This palm tree is doing really good. We have had a nest here. The pigeon was sitting here for a week or so, but then she flew away and I'm not sure whether there's anything inside the nest. So it's there until it falls off on its own. And here on the side patch, I have got this beautiful Achillea or Achillea plant, also known as Yarrow, doing marvelous. And this hydrangeum plant I planted earlier, and it had one cluster of flowers, and it is starting to wither now. Stenothus liked this spot really well. It was a small plant, and now it has grown double, triple in its size. And there is a climbing rose here as well, which has grown huge. I do need to tie it to the trellis so it can climb up the trellis. It is like, pushed down on the surface because it's the side street. So kids sometimes play in the side street with football and they keep kicking the plants. I don't really like it, but I can't do anything about it because it's the side patch anyway. I want it to look good, but you can understand it's side street. and this thing has started to pop up from the ground, because earlier it was just the gravel, and when I started planting few things here and there, of course I caught the membrane underneath the gravel, and this thing has popped up, so I'm letting it grow to see what it is. And this heather is again looking really beautiful, starting to bloom. So as I said, I'm really happy with my purchase of heathers during the middle of summer, and they are doing really well, and they do grow huge, and they are kind of like winter flowers, so they bloom for a good amount of time during the winter, and they are perennial, so they come back every year. This one is especially really beautiful, whether it's like gray foliage and kind of gray flowers, so it looks really good. So I hope it grows big and develop really well. I do have plans to put few more things here in the side patch, and hopefully in a couple of years it will be full of plants. This one is also really beautiful with its light pink pastel flowers, and there are some weeds here and there which I need to take out. I am not really coming into the garden a whole lot, because earlier the weather was really wet and now it is so hot. So I'm looking for the right temperatures so then I can work on the garden, take some weeds out and do some pruning or tying here and there. Butterfly bush is doing well as well, but I'm not really liking it, so I'm thinking to replace it with something else. Dogwood was already here, it is established well and it has grown quite a lot, so I do need to do a lot of pruning on it. And there's forsythia, which I started from bare root, still small. So some plants have grown a huge deal in this season and some still need time to establish. These are my potato plants in these grow bags. I started them quite late, but still I think it's been nearly 3 months. So I'm thinking to take some of them out to see what's going on inside. And here are my cucumber plants. They're almost done. They're starting to wither now. We have had few cucumbers here and there, not like a whole lot, but still plenty of them. These are small baby cucumbers. The earlier ones were a good size, but these are really, really small now. So I just need to clean up these containers. Beans have been doing really well for me. I had 3, 4 harvests of beans, and they are like dwarf beans, scarlet beans, and the normal like climbing beans. So I think beans like here in this spot. So I will be growing more beans next year as well. I do like growing beans and eating them, so if they grow well for me, why not? Here I have got my hardy kiwi vine in this container. It has grown quite a lot during this year and filled up the trellis like I wanted it to. And it's been 4 years, so it's produced few fruit as well. I do want to taste the fruit and see how I like it. Here is my blackberry bush, which is like thornless berries. They are not really sweet. They don't produce much for me because they are in the container. So I'm thinking to take these out as well. But this year they have produced quite a lot, like more than the previous year. So I will see next year if I can replace them with something else. For now, I just pick 4 or 5 here and there and make smoothies with them. During the heat wave, they have been really beneficial, so we could put them in our smoothies. The next container is raspberry bush, which does not do any good. So I'm just gonna take it out and grow something else in that container. Zucchini plant was small, and you can see the sign of heat wave. It didn't like the wet weather, but then it didn't like the heat either, so it's kind of withered now. Few more chili plants here which have been eaten by critters, so not doing really well, only few chilies on them. And the chilies have been eaten as well, so some start rotting due to the wet weather, some have been eaten by critters, so not really good harvest. I'm not really happy with how the hot whether plants like eggplants or chilies are doing for me this year. So I may not grow them next year or just grow them few because I have some seeds. Carrots, I started some flower seeds here, but they turned out to be carrots. So I think it was wrong labeling, but we got some carrots and they are small, and you can see they have been eaten by something as well. This container is doing really, really well. I planted all my geranium plants in here. Earlier, I planted them in the garden, but they didn't do anything for a month or so. Then I decided to put them in this container, and since then they have established really well. They have got so many blooms on them, looking really pretty. There are reds and pinks in there. I can do more deadheading so they will look good, but I'm happy with how they look anyway. This cosmos is self-sown, so it's doing okay. These hanging baskets are doing well as well. Geraniums are growing beautifully. Petunias are done already. So this time of year you can expect things not to look their best, but still they are trying to bloom for me as much as they can. This side of patch I have got a lot of things going on, like I had anemones earlier which are done. This jasmine, which is evergreen climber, and I wanted to fill up this side of the arch. It's doing really well. It is starting to send new shoots and filling up really well. It is in its second year, so it will take some time to fill the whole thing, but it is doing well. And I have got petunias, begonias, impatiens, marigolds in this side of the archway, and they are doing well. So I'm liking the begonias, and I think I will grow them again. These containers are doing okay. I have junipers in them as the centerpiece, and I want them to train as topiaries. This archway, we installed it ourselves here, and I really like it. It is so beautiful, and this pathway I designed myself. I really like it too. I do need to get more stone chips so I can fill up the whole thing, and the grass I can take it out, but I'm really liking the look. And we have a circular lawn in the middle with white borders around it. Petunias, and this purple one especially has done really beautifully. And this is hardimom. It is blooming for a couple of weeks now, and it is really beautiful. Coleus has done really well. I started them from cuttings and they are liking it here, so I will be growing them again. I may overwinter them in my house. I have planted box plants around this circle so I can make them into a hedge. Let's see how it goes. This is my first time growing box plants. They are still small, so will take some time. Lavender, 3 or 4 lavender plants here which have grown quite well. And stock plants, I started them from seeds last year. They didn't do well earlier in the spring, but now they have grown quite a lot and sending another flush of flowers. This container again is looking really beautiful. All the impatiens and petunias are living their life in here. And I have got some scabiosa and dianthus and sweet william, chrysanthemums, all started from seed here and there in this garden. I want this garden to be more like cottage style. It will take some time to take its shape because I started lots of plants from seeds or small plants, so they will take some time to establish. This rhododendron started to bloom again because of the cold wet weather, but due to heat now it's, flowers are done already. So you can see the plants are confused, the garden is confused. I'm confused myself. I don't know what to grow and what not to grow, because when I start the cold weather crops it gets really hot, and when I start hot weather crops it gets really cold. So UK weather is really unpredictable, really hard to get your hands on how the weather would be and what to grow. Earlier, my lettuce went bolting, then my tomato plants got rotten due to loads of rain. These dahlias are so late, they have just starting to bloom the last week. This is the first flower of the season, and I really like them. These are pom-poms, pink ones. I will save them, but I will change their position. These are the hardy salvias. They are starting to bloom now. They are quite late as well. Some foxgloves here and there. They are self-sown. These dianthus are started from seeds as well. I'm very liking the look here. This rudbeckia is also self-sown. So this is the beauty of cottage style garden. You have got your plants which you plan and plant them yourself, and there are plants coming up on their own, and everything mingles really well. These shrubs and trees were already here in this garden. They are quite mature and established well, and they provide a good privacy from the road because we are the corner house. I have got the hydrangea there which has grown quite a lot. It didn't bloom for me this year. Maybe next year it is the white flowers. And I have got hosta there which is still small and has been overtaken by other plants. This apple tree I planted myself. It's a small tree. It will take some time to grow and be mature. This bleeding heart I planted earlier, I got it at a reduced price, but I think it's dead now. It's not looking good. And you can see some of the plants are doing really well and some are not, because of the cold wet weather. They kind of, you know, are done for me. And this happens in gardening. You can't really expect everything to do good for you. These raw okra plants I planted myself, and I'm really liking the look here because they are shaded by these apple trees anyways, so they are liking this spot. And the skimia bush and rose bush are doing well as well. Skimia is starting to send another flush of flowers. This container is absolutely beautiful. I have got impatiens and petunias in there doing really well. It does need watering. And I have got few more things here. This hardymom and fuchsia, they are still small and just starting to bloom now. There is another hydrangea underneath here which I need to take out from here, or maybe I will sort it out because I do need to move some plants from this corner. I have got this sweet corn which is quite light. I have got one small corn on it. So this corner here, I planted some perennials here, but they were overshadowed by tomato plants in the raised beds. So what I'm thinking, I move the plants from here to the other side and do something else in this corner, because I can't see this corner during the middle of summer. So maybe something which is good for spring or autumn. These raised beds, I had tomato plants in there which I took out and put some spinach and radish in there. Radish is doing okay and does need watering, but spinach didn't do well. Earlier it germinated, but due to the heat wave, they are all done now. So I do need to sprinkle the seeds again. The strawberry raised bed is doing well. There is one ever-bearing strawberry plant here which is still producing. The rest are June bearing. I do need to put more ever-bearing plants in my garden because we do like lots of strawberries. So I think I will grow more strawberry plants here. This hardymom is almost done now. You can see most of the flowers are withered. This is the main coleus plant which I had and I took the cuttings from. It has done really well for me. This grapevine is grown quite a lot this year. Earlier it had a really bad damage due to grubs, vine weevil grubs. So this side I have got this climbing rose which has grown quite a lot. I do need to tie it to the trellis so I can go up the trellis. On this side of the arch I had ranunculus which were done, and then I had begonias which were not doing well, so I took them out. Now these are pansies are self-sown and few things here and there. So I'm thinking carefully for next year which plants did well and which didn't, and how I want to go forward with my planting, because now I know and kind of understand the microclimate in my garden. So I do need to make few changes here and there, and I'll keep you updated how I go about it. Overall, it's beautiful. The other day I went grocery shopping and I saw the spring flowering bulbs on sale. So I thought I could fetch some. You can see they have got really good deals here. This is landscaping mix bag which has got 50 bulbs in it for £7. It has few varieties of daffodils and tulips in it. This is another landscaping mix which has anemones and muscaras in it. So I thought to get this one because I do need to plant lots of bulbs in my side patch. Uh, some tulips I wanted. I liked all of them. They are so beautiful and vibrant. It is a hard choice to make which one to pick and which one not. I do like vibrant colors. Pastel colors are not my cup of tea. They look beautiful. If I have the choice, I would buy all of them. But you know, you have to pick and choose because these things are expensive. This bag is like for £2. It has 8 to 10 bulbs in it, depending on. So I chose some vibrant colors and some double shaded ones. These are not just tulip bulbs, there are some other bulbs in here as well. And this iris I haven't grown before, so I thought I could take some iris bulbs as well, and let's see how they grow for me. So there were more inside the store. These are like packages of the same shade of tulips. So there are whites, pinks, reds, and oranges. So all these tulips are of the same shade. The pink ones are really beautiful. This bag is for £4 and there are 30 tulip bulbs in each. I did like the pink ones, but I already have got like 5 to 6 of the others. So maybe during the next visit I will fetch some more, but for this time I have got 5 to 6 bags of tulips and one landscaping mix. I do need to get some alliums. I really like them. So I think I will take one of the bags of alliums as well. There are different varieties. Some are bigger ones and some are smaller ones. Like this one, this is really big bulbs. And the bigger the bulb, bigger the flower. But these are expensive as well. So I think I'll take the bag which has 25 in it. So there are different varieties. This will be okay for me. And there are different shades like, dark purple and light purple and white. So I like this one. These are bee friendly. So here I have got my kiwi, which is hardy kiwi. It is not fuzzy like the kiwi we buy from the store. It is like a berry. You can see the inside. It has seeds like the normal kiwi we buy from store, but the seeds are less and the flesh is less as well. So I'm going to do a taste test. It's kind of tasteless, quite bland. This kiwi we buy from store is like sweet and sour with lots of juices. This doesn't have anything, so it's just flat. I didn't like it, but that's what I can grow here in my home garden, and I will see another year. If I don't like it at all, I may replace it with something else. Now I am going to do my potato harvest. I didn't have any plans to grow potatoes this year, and I had 3 to 4 potatoes in my refrigerator which were growing buds. So I thought I just put them in the grow bags because I had few grow bags lying around. So I just put them in there in June. So it's been 10 weeks. If I could give them another 2 to 3 weeks, that would be better. But I'm worried if anything is growing inside, it won't be eaten by slugs and snails because lots of things are eating my vegetables this year. So I'm going to do harvest whatever is in it. I'm in a mood to tidy up the garden now. So I'm going to do it step by step. So I have checked one grow bag and I have very little harvest, 2 to 3 reasonable size potatoes. And this is the second one, nothing at all. Just only 2 potatoes. There are many teeny ones which if they had time they would grow. But it could be the weather because we have had really rainy and wet weather. There weren't any sunshine. It was pretty cold. Many things didn't grow in my garden for a very long time. So I have got only 2 small potatoes from this grow bag. And this is third one. Let's see what's inside it. This looks good. So yeah, there are many on this one. They are still small. One is good size. And yeah, basically it's all about good weather. If there was lots of sunshine, they have had been in here for 12 to 14 weeks, I could expect a good harvest. So yes, we can grow potatoes in grow bags. There's no harm in growing in grow bags. If you're short on space, you can give them a try in grow bags. I have got a video on my channel where I have discussed in detail how to grow potatoes in grow bags. I have shown the whole process. But I am not going to grow potatoes again because it's kind of useless. We can buy potatoes from grocery stores for very cheap. It's a good activity for kids if you just want to put one potato in the bag for kids so they can watch it grow and then they can do a potato hunt. Otherwise, for small home gardens, it's not worth the effort to grow small potatoes like this. Well, I have got this much harvest of potatoes from 3 grow bags and I will use them in cooking. New potatoes have a specific taste which is unique to them and they do taste very nice. So this is a small harvest I have got from my garden today. Not bad, and I'm quite proud of myself for growing all these things, taking into account the weird weather we have had. Hope you enjoyed watching the tour of my garden and the harvest I have got. Please give it a thumbs up and do subscribe to my channel. Press the bell icon so you don't miss out on any of my gardening videos. Thank you very much for watching today. See you next time. Bye.